My name is Alison Laurence, and I'm a cultural historian of museums, animals, and the environment. You know how people say to be interesting, one should be interested? Patty Limerick is fascinating because she is endlessly curious and also wholly invested in building generous communities of interested people. I'm a historian of museums because of my grandma. She was a social studies teacher on the south side of Chicago and volunteered at museums across the city. Growing up, I used to visit my grandma often at the Natural History Museum where she volunteered. So from an early age, I've been curious about and also personally invested in these spaces where human histories and environmental histories come together. Right now, I'm revising my first book manuscript about dinosaurs on display in the modern US. Recently, I received a fellowship from the Huntington Library to conduct research in the papers of an oil executive whose company used dinosaurs to sell fossil fuels. I have a book under contract too. It's called Bigfoot and Belief, and it examines the nature of evidence and the stories that swirl around charismatic megafauna. Skills repurposing is about helping scholars recognize, value, and translate the practical experience they've acquired during their time in the academy. Things like finding the interesting questions, conducting research, sniffing out stories, managing long-term projects like a dissertation, collaborating, and communicating with diverse audiences. And skills repurposing is not just about doing this in theory, but incentivizing this translation work of putting these skills into practice in new contexts. I left the center of the American West tired, but excited again about my research. I left emboldened to reach out to people in non-academic communities, to volunteer my voice, to reach out and say, hey, I've got some expertise that might be useful to you. Let's talk.